Over the last few hours, I've been trying my hardest to check out the brand new game mode that came out in GTA Online. Unfortunately, the one major flaw with the game mode isn't necessarily the mode itself. I have to say that the Perico destination, while not the most amazing place for combat, it has done some new and interesting things to spice up a previous mode that I never really thought of to be all that great. The choice of vehicles are significantly more interesting than we had in the original mode of wars, with now being able to use the Khanjali tank, as well as the APC, and also the Savage. While on paper, the Savage itself might seem like a huge menace and something that will completely destroy the game mode, which was also my initial impression when I played it for the first round or two, nothing could be further from the truth. Rockstar has actually done a very good job at balancing it, as the Savage itself turns like a boat and can easily be countered by the various amount of homing missiles, railgun or RPGs that are around the map. Add on top of the fact that most of these vehicles are able to withstand quite a few lock-on missiles before getting exploded, whereas the Khanjali can only take 2. So there is definitely seemingly a balance here in terms of the overall game mode itself. Obviously, you're always going to have the flaw of Perico Island with all the different solid bushes and that sort of stuff, but unfortunately the game mode is suffering from the exact same thing as literally every other game mode within GTA Online, the matchmaking. It is so incredibly frustrating to finally find a match with 24 players just to see the majority of the players leave, and then you're being stuck with yet another lobby that will not go beyond 6 to 8 players. A game mode that has 28 players will definitely probably need to have 28 players, or at the very least as close as possible, especially when the default settings for the lobby are in 4 teams, and most if not all of the people inside the GTA Online never bother to change any of the settings, because most of them have no clue that's even possible due to the lack of tutorials or due to the lack of even giving a single crap. Or the matchmaking itself is such a massive headache that someone like myself, who has been fed up with the matchmaking for several years at this point, is simply not going to bother to try to see if even this game mode is worth any of their time and effort. I've seen the potential within the game mode. It's something that I genuinely want to try and play and get a good understanding of how it works and actually get some good playtime in so I can form my opinion about what exactly it is. Unfortunately, the GTA Online player base is also in such a state that the moment that they don't see that something pays out $1 million in 15 minutes, they're simply not interested in playing it. Mind you, Mode War seems to be paying out rather well, with the double cash and RP definitely dashing out some decent coin. Especially if you got GTA Plus, I'm sure you'll be making plenty of money, which once again sadly is based on the amount of players as well as the amount of time that you spend within the mode. And if you kill half of the entire team with a single Savage because no one is competent enough to lock onto you with a lock-on missile, then those modes are not going to last very long. And I also don't get an entire good grasp on how well and effective a Savage is going to be when the differences in amount of players that I get is either people that are clever enough to figure out to use a lock-on missile against a helicopter that's destroying the entire team and literally everyone, or I'm getting people who are just like, that's an interesting thing that's flying there. Is that a bird? Never mind, I'm dead. It's extremely frustrating that even this far into the life cycle of GTA Online, we're still having to deal with these weird ideas for lobbies. For some reason, they did figure it out with the previous attack on ATT 16 and the Perico mode, where I believe they don't even use a host to begin with, because for some reason that always seems to work. But once again, in this, it just simply doesn't work. And I really hope that Rockstar will take a hard look at the way that they've done matchmaking in GTA Online, have a look at Red Dead Online and the way that they did that, and then, pretty pleased with a cherry on top, just get rid of the system that they did in GTA Online, because it just doesn't work. Something like lobby merging, which magically happened for me once throughout hours of trying to find a match that actually like worthwhile to play, simply just doesn't seem to be apparent. I don't understand why every single time that I try to look for a mode, I seem to be stuck with just being hosting the match. I understand that me trying to record this around the time that the game mode has just launched and even a little bit like a few hours afterwards, but the fact that there is clearly plenty of people playing this stuff, but for some reason Rockstar is adamant that everyone needs to be hosting their own session and no other way whatsoever. It's like, just combine the lobbies, let us play together. Like, this mode is meant for 28 players. Find a way so we can actually play this with as close as 28 players as possible. It's just frustrating that this is like still a thing this many years onwards, and obviously it's never going to change. But the main reason I wanted to bring this up because it's really something that I hope that they'll fix in GTA 6 Online, because while it is a fantastic thing of trying to host your own jobs and customize the settings and everything like that, it's just a concept that will work in private sessions, but definitely not something to give in control of like the player base as a whole, because it just doesn't work. Either way, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.